Oysters, superfood. This stuff is powerful. It is potent and it has a bunch of bioavailable minerals and vitamins that are going to help you stay healthy and recover for all things related to exercise and your sexual vitality and your just overall wellness and immunity. Now, oysters aren't all created equal. There are differences. There are different quality oysters, different locations that have different nutrient profiles, and there is a lot to be said about different oysters from different areas. However, the biggest thing we're going to talk about today are the benefits, as well as how I personally consume them and the most convenient way for me to consume them, as well as some other alternatives that you may be able to do if you personally can't consume oysters. Now, the big three things in oysters that really get me excited are zinc, selenium, and copper. Those are three things that are very, very either overused or underused in today's society. Now, not only is it high in those different forms of nutrients, but it's also bioavailable. So your body takes what it needs. It's from a whole food source. Your body's gonna get what it needs, and it's not going to have the same effect of taking some supplement where your body is going to have an overpowering, overbearing effect. And you're not gonna be able to have the other nutrients that come into play. Like, for example, zinc and copper work together very harmoniously, and they have a lot of overlaps. So you need to make sure you're aware of zinc and copper, and also taking things like selenium from a whole food source. Vitamin A and vitamin C are also very high in oysters. Vitamin A is important for your skin, it is important for the vitality of your body and your blood, and it's also something that could be kind of not really effective if you just get it from vegetables. You really need to get vitamin A, high quality vitamin A, retinol from animal products. And oysters are no different. Now, vitamin C, another one, you wanna get multiple forms of vitamin C. You don't want just ascorbic acid, which is what they put in the supplements. You want the whole vitamin C profile. And then another little trick that I do, this is my personal method. I will take oysters after I now, this has multiple benefits, but it does replenish those nutrients that I lose, at least some of them, I hope, when I have that release of those fluids and those nutrients from my body. However, another benefit is that they don't taste super great. Sometimes they do, like the raw oysters with the right seasoning, but they don't taste awesome. So I use it as like a little mental trick to not it as often, because I know that every time I do, I'll need to eat more oysters. So I make sure to have oysters on hand, because if I run out, then maybe I have a problem, or I just don't for a certain period of time. But that's a fun little trick if you're a dude with oysters. But if you're a lady, there's also a ton of other benefits that come with oysters. You can get your oysters raw or cooked. I usually get mine smoked in the cans. Now, I use this one for one main reason, because it is packed in olive oil. There is no canola oil, no rapeseed oil, no sesame oil, no soybean oil. All the other oils that you find this stuff in are usually junk. I also get it in water. Now, it does not taste good in water. That is way overbearing for me. I'd rather eat raw oysters with seasoning or the smoked oysters in oil, because it just tastes way better. Smoked oysters taste a lot better than just the cooked oysters. And sometimes the smoked oysters in water, if you can find them, are pretty tasty. But this is the best one that I can find for where I'm at. So I just get these oysters. They're packed in olive oil, and I'll eat one can of these a couple days a week, usually following some kind of pattern. Either if I need to get my zinc levels up, or I feel like I'm just exercising a lot and depleting a lot of my nutrients, I usually just pack down a can of oysters. Now, if you can't eat oysters and they just aren't working for you, or you're allergic to shellfish, or you have different dietary restrictions due to kosher or halal, you can eat things like beef liver, super high in the B vitamins, super high in vitamin C, vitamin A, selenium, zinc, copper, all these things that you get from oysters as well. I personally enjoy oysters because I find the taste more palatable, and I can eat it more often, and it's just more accessible to me. But beef liver is a great option as well. Or something like cod liver oil is another great option as well. But I definitely recommend oysters if you can eat them. And I like my little method where I have them, little post-nut clarity oysters, you know? It's good for you.